All right, guys, we're back at you once again with another movie review.
Hell yeah, we are. We got a good one lined up today.
Yes, sir. So tonight we're going to be talking about the movie Jumper,
Jumper!
which came out in, let's see, February of 2008, starring Hayden Christensen, Jamie Bell, Michael Rooker, Diane Lane, and Samuel Jackson, who plays a pretty fucking mean bad guy in this one.
Asshole is what he did. He played a fucking asshole.
Well, yeah, that was his character.
Yeah,
Now,
but
for what I'm reading here, it says Jumper is an American science fiction action film loosely based on the novel, directed by Doug Liman, who's a pretty good director. And it says here Hayden Christensen as a young man capable of teleporting as he is chased by a secret society intent
Hell
on
yeah.
killing him.
dude,
Which Samuel Jackson definitely tried, you know.
yeah. But dude, wouldn't that be cool though to fucking teleport like that?
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Like you could just go anywhere. Like at the snap of a finger, you could be anywhere. Like man, I wonder what Paris, France would look like.
Right, it just boom, go there.
And you're just there. Like,
Right. So this movie, let's see, it had a budget of $85 million. It went on to make $225 million, which is pretty good.
yeah, they over tripled their profits on that
Right.
one.
So that's not bad, but
No.
the reviews on this are bad.
Well,
It says here, it says,
why?
huh?
So I can understand why it had its moments where, like, the movie was all over the place. Like it's hard. It's one of those movies that's hard to really keep a hold of. Like,
Right, it's all over. It got a 15% rating on this movie. Wow. I guess but the box office, it did pretty good.
yeah,
Let's see here. So, this movie starts out, there is, the young
yeah. He's like what?
David
like
Rice.
high schooler, and you see him getting like he's got his eye on this girl named Millie,
Right,
who's like, he goes up to her, like, hey Millie, I went to a yard sale and found this for you. It was like a snow globe type deal, and
right.
then you get this one guy,
Some asshole
in.
bully kid.
yeah, it's like grabs the thing and is like horsing around. They're like, come on, just give it back to him. Just give it back. He's like,
Yeah.
all right. And then he throws it out to the lake like a true asshole.
Yeah, well, the lake was frozen because it was wintertime.
Yeah. And then, David trying to be, the bully guy refers to him as Rice Bowl.
Right. He goes
And-
out there to retrieve it, but falls in.
Yeah, falls in. They're trying to, Millie and trying to get the other guy to help him, and before you know it, just when you think he's going to drown, like, he can't
Right.
get out because there's just nothing but ice ahead of
He
him.
teleports.
Yeah, he teleports to a damn library. Like, you're like,
Right.
wait, what the hell? And then he gets up and he's not realizing, like, wait, how was I at the bottom of a lake
Right.
once, and now I'm here in the library?
And then he ends up going home where Michael Rooker is his dad.
Yeah, it sounded like, they never said if he was just like an abusive towards them or what, but obviously he, like, he didn't seem like he wanted to even deal with them. Like,
Right. He seemed upset with him or something.
yeah, and Michael Rooker chased him up there and he locked the door. He's like telling him, like, David, unlock this door, David.
Right. He ends up teleporting out of there.
Yeah, teleporting out of there, and I forgot where he teleported to. I think he went back to the library or something. Didn't
Yeah, I believe so. And then,
Yeah.
but then he pretty much left. He left everybody and
he?
went
Yeah,
on his
he
own.
realized, because when he realized that he could teleport, he's like, you know what? My mom ran away.
Right.
Why can't I?
Right. Which is played by Diane Lane.
Yeah, which is weird because, a top actress like Diane Lane, and she really didn't even play that much of a role. I mean,
Right.
you see like pictures of her. You seen like the a flashback where when he's a child with her,
Right.
and then it's like you see her in like two scenes, like that one point where she rescues him, and well, we'll get to that. But yeah, so then he realizes, like, you know what? I need some money to cover this all, and he decides to teleport into a bank vault.
Right.
And this is where I think he messed up. He winds up grabbing bag full after bag full after bag full, basically teleporting back and forth from the bank to his room and dumping the money. Then it's like, why would you be that stupid?
I don't know.
Like, you think the bank's just gonna be, oh, all our money's gone. What happened? Oh, we don't know. And then next thing you know, he's teleporting like all over the place, doing this, doing that, and
Yeah, getting all that money and shit.
yeah. And then they come to find out, like 8 years have passed, and he's like living in a high dollar like apartment or something, and like, and you see like, and that's when he's finally discovered by Samuel Jackson.
Right. Which, I don't know if it happened beforehand or after, but Samuel L. Jackson ends up catching like a Chinese guy.
Yeah, it was before.
Was it before? Yeah, he was a jumper. Yeah, okay, yeah, it was right before.
They have him tied up in like electricity type deals because
they can't jump through electricity.
yeah, they can't just like teleport and get away, like,
Right, and he's got this guy stringed up. And and he pulls out this knife and sticks his ass with it. And I was like, damn.
Remember what he told him? He's like, well, only God deserves these powers.
Right, you shouldn't have these type of powers and shit like this.
Like, I was like, why don't you just leave people alone, man? Let people. I mean, I can understand you want to go after people like that because that people like that could turn out to be evil. Like,
right, but not all of them were bad. But
no,
I guess Samuel Jackson didn't give a shit,
Yeah. So then later on, he just finds out about. You remember he goes back at one point to his hometown to see Millie.
Right.
And the guy, and then he winds up like fighting that one dude and teleports him to the bank vault and just leaves him there.
Right.
And he's arrested for it and in jail. And Samuel Jackson at one point finds out about this, and he goes and talks to him, and the guy gives up everything, like who he is, who the girl is,
all that shit. Well, even that, when Samuel Jackson found him at the apartment, high class apartment, they get into a big scuffle, but he ends up getting away.
Yeah.
He tries to kill him, but doesn't succeed. That was pretty cool, though, how he uses electricity through those, whatever those fucking things were, wires and shit.
Yeah, that he like wrap around you and it just electrocutes you where you can't, like, you don't have that power just to like teleport and get away.
Well, yeah, he says it's hard to teleport, ain't it, with all that electricity going through your body?
Yeah. I thought that was funny.
And then, it's cool that he finds, he finds the mom. He goes to the mom's house to ask where Millie's at, and, he tells her that she's working at so-and-so, and he goes to see her, and he, goes to leave.
He's just, like, sitting there drinking a beer and, like, staring at her, and then he was just, at one point, was just going to get up and leave. And I don't recall if that was the same bully kid or not that watches, like, he's like, rice bowl?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
But then him and Millie, they end up going, like, on a traveling, because they end up hooking back up, or hooking up, and then they end up going to Rome, and then they trespass into the Colosseum.
Yeah, because he can teleport to where, because they're telling him it's closed, and he's like, it ain't closed to me.
Right. He's able to unlock all this shit, and which gets him into some
Yeah, and get her
trouble.
in there and so she can see what she's always wanted to see.
Yeah.
And
Then there's that Griffin guy who's another jumper following David.
yeah,
When-
he's like watching him. He's like amateur,
Yeah.
total rookie, you know. And he warns him at one point. He's like, oh, I'm not the one you got to worry about. It's them.
Right.
And he turns around and you see the guys coming at him with those prods and wire things again. And
Right. Only a couple of them.
yeah, and
then-
you know, they get taken out. And
Yeah. Jamie Bell's
Samuel
character.
Jackson you hear him on the phone like, how many minutes you send to get him? It's like 2. He's like, 2? I told you to send all of them. And they're telling them like, no, well, she said only 2 would be
Would be enough.
enough. And
Right. Which is Diane Lane, Mary.
yeah, and later on,
So she's been watching over her son.
yeah, but then you know he goes to Michael Rooker's house to
Yeah, Samuel Jackson.
yeah.
Because he couldn't figure it out. He couldn't figure out. He was asking the kid, you know, how the hell were you able to get away from us for 8 years? How were you
Yeah,
able to
and-
dodge us for so long?
And then he, like I said, when he goes to Michael Rooker's house, he sees their picture. He's like, "This your wife?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's Mary." And he's looking at it like he totally knows. Like it all hits him right then and there. It's like
Yeah,
that's his mom.
right.
Yeah.
And she's protecting him.
Yeah, because you see that when he's caught in Rome, she just like comes in the room and like throws
Right.
him some keys or whatever, tells him like you got 30 seconds to get out of here.
Right. And he's
Yeah,
like
she-
shocked. He's like, wait, Mom?
Yeah, it's like you haven't seen your mom in all these years. All of a sudden, she just comes in the room, throws you some keys, like you got 30 seconds.
Right. I mean, that would be kind of trippy if, that
Yeah.
happened to anybody.
But his reaction was funny. He's just like, "Wait, mom?"
So I guess they end up leaving Rome, but he ends up
Yeah.
having to leave the girl Millie. She has to, take a plane home by herself or whatever.
Yeah, and he's back to like you because he don't have to take planes and
Right.
he can just teleport to where the
Yeah,
fuck he
he
wants to
moves
go.
at the speed of thought. So
Yeah,
he says,
And then he
boom.
winds-
Yeah.
yeah, then he
Then he winds up like hooking up or hanging out with the other jumper,
because
Griffin.
he finds a way that he can jump to where
Yeah, he's able to jump objects.
yeah
Which is
Yeah.
cool. Jump cars. That's a thing,
dude,
huh?
that part fucking tripped me out. Like where he got the car, all of a sudden they just jump. Like you see the car
Right.
coming at him, and it just pew. It's like you're like, wait a
Yeah.
minute, what?
Because he wants to team up with Griffin.
Yeah,
And
Griffin, all he wants to do seem like is take out all them guys that are after him.
Right. He's a renegade jumper.
Yeah,
And David wants to take him out. David wants his help, to go after Samuel L. Jackson.
yeah, and he's trying to like make a deal with them. Like, look, we protect Millie. We take out. I forgot what Samuel L. Jackson's name was in the movie. Roland.
Yeah, Roland.
Yeah, and he's like, if you help me protect Millie and kill Roland, we're done.
Right.
He's like, okay, and that's when he starts like showing him how you could jump objects and this and that. And,
Right.
I guess first they seem like they're doing okay as a team, working together, and then he makes the mistake of jumping from when he goes to Millie's house after she lands.
Right. He wants to make sure that she's all right.
And she goes in and start talking, and the guys show up, and he takes Millie and jumps with her to
Right.
where Griffin is, and
Right. Because she originally wanted him to leave because she doesn't understand what all this is going on.
yeah,
So, but he's trying to, explain to her, hey, I'm different,
yeah. But then Roland has that. They introduced that machine that they can use to fucking jump to wherever.
Yeah, to wherever he last jumped.
Yeah, and
They
Griffin
had-
realized that like, oh shit, they got the weapon. I mean, they got that device or whatever.
Right.
It's like,
that helps
You
them jump as well.
Like, you just brought them here.
Right.
And so
Ron
they
and his
come there to
crew.
where they're at, they fight, and once again, like, almost David is almost killed. Griffin, avoids them and stuff, and
Right. At some point, um, David gets caught and Millie gets caught,
yeah.
but the fucking weird thing is, like, he uses all his fucking power to, like, rock this house into a fucking ocean.
Yeah, because remember earlier, Griffin told him, like, one of their jumper friends, like, tried to, jump a house, and he's like, "How did that work for him?" He's like, "He's dead," and he's like, "Some things are just not, jumpable."
Right. That was pretty wild. How he was,
Yeah, remember they wound up, like, teleporting into the library. He's like, "Why is my shower in a library?"
Yeah, that was pretty wild. That was cool
Yeah.
too, because Samuel
Yeah.
Jackson's character, man, was really after these guys, man,
Yeah.
which is
And,
pretty cool. But I love the part where, what's his name, Griffin, the renegade jumper, he jumps a fucking bus
Yeah.
into the fucking where he was staying. I think the sand area. Out in the
Yeah.
middle of nowhere, right at Samuel Jackson. He's looking at this like, whoa, what the, fuck? And he had to
Yeah.
jump out of the fucking way, man,
Yeah.
before getting hammered.
And then at one point, they're, like, jumping all over the place, and you think that him and Millie are safe, but then just when they thought they got the device, they can't jump. Somehow like, one last shot, you see the wire come through,
Right, and grab her. Yeah, Samuel Jackson grabs her, and he's like, good, now they're going to come to us.
Yeah,
Which was true.
which he did. But remember, Griffin had other plans. Like, he wanted to, like, kill everybody.
Right, with
Like,
that shit.
and he's like, look, if you go there and you set that off, you're going to kill all of them, but you're going to take Millie out too. And Griffin didn't care.
Well,
And
I
they
think he
wanted to-
cared, but it's just like he's like, casualties do come. He even told them, I lost my father and mother,
Yeah.
to the casualties. He says, this is our chance. So they end up fighting for a little while all over the place.
Yeah.
Until
They're jumping from place to place, this and that, and finally,
he jumps
I
in.
forgot how the fucking Griffin jumps into a fucking, like, power line thing.
Right, it's like some sort of power thing where he's stuck into it.
Yeah, he's stuck and he can't jump out
Right,
of it.
he's telling
And
what's his
he's
face.
Yeah, get me out of here. We'll team up. He's like,
Right,
no, this
Right.
is as far as we go, or something. And
right. He's trying to tell him, look, you can't do it on your own, man. They're gonna get you.
Yeah.
He still goes anyways.
Yeah, and he battles it out with them, and
Samuel Jackson, right? They have their
he
battle.
ends up jumping Samuel Jackson to, like, a fucking, like, the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, right. He's jumped way out in the fucking desert in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, it's like a little tiny, like beside cave, beside a mountain, and you're
Right.
like, he's like, hey, you should be thankful. I could have fed you to the sharks.
Right, which is true.
And
He-
he fucking just, like, after that, like, fucking jumps away, and so that's they're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, he's
Like,
stuck way up on a mountain somewhere,
Yeah, and he just, like, the camera pans back.
and there's
And
nothing
he-
there but sand and
Yeah,
mountains.
there's nothing there but sand and mountains, and you're like, wow, he's fucked. Like, he's gonna die out there.
Yeah, most likely, yeah. I mean, he would be very fortunate.
Because even if he gets up in that one mountaintop, like, even if you walk, like, there's nothing for miles. There's no way to communicate to anybody.
Right. I mean,
You
he's
know,
pretty much done out there, unless if maybe he I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe he had some. Like, it would have helped at that point. You know what they didn't think about is having a fucking tracking device.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if Samuel Jackson would have had, like, a tracking device, he could have, like, So, the agency could have been like, hey, let's give them all that, so if they ever get, we can know what they are the whole time.
Yeah, but yeah, that was a cool scene.
Yeah, and then he goes and finds his mom and to go talk to her, and for like, this is the shortest scene I've ever seen her in. Kristen Stewart answers the door,
Right.
and you're just like, wait a minute, Kristen Stewart, and
Right. It makes you even wonder, why was she even in the film?
yeah, she's like, she has a scene where she says that, and then she's like, turn around like, Mom, somebody's here for you.
Yeah, and that was it.
You're realizing like that's his sister,
Right.
you know.
And he ends up talking to his mom for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, and his mom's telling him like, she's part of that whole thing, and she's like, I had, when she learned that David was a jumper, she had only two choices: either to kill him or leave him. And
Right. She chose to leave.
yeah, and she even makes a comment like, "I'm gonna give you a head start," like
Right.
saying that if she basically is threatening her own son, like
Right. Well, in other words, I don't think she was even gonna bother to go after him. She was
No.
stopping the other guys from going after him.
Yeah, it's like I said earlier on, she protected him in that scene. But that's what got me, is like, that was like her only two actual scenes in the movie.
Right. And then a flashback scene.
Yeah, and then he winds up like going and finding Millie, and or I forgot like what happened, because from that I know he talked to his mom.
And then he leaves with his girlfriend. She stays with him.
Yeah.
Because you're not sure throughout the movie, because there was times where she just wanted to be left alone. She was like, I don't, this is...
Yeah, I mean, obviously she had to be freaked out, like...
by everything, but...
Yeah. But they stick it out at the end, and...
Which is pretty cool.
It was pretty cool, man.
It's a good movie. I thought it was good. I don't know why it got bad reviews. I guess the book is far better than the movie.
Yeah, not just that, but when, like, the fact that they bring in top talented actors and actresses like Michael Rooker, like Diane Lane, and Kristen Stewart, and you give those actors like a 2-minute scene, like, I think if you add all three of their stuff in the movie, they might have all been in the movie for a total of, I don't know, 10 minutes.
Right. Well, maybe they were in there longer, and just like a lot of their scenes got cut down.
Yeah.
It does say here the script went through a rewrite prior to filming, and the roles for the main characters were changed during production. So,
shit.
It was seemed like a lot going on. It says it received generally negative reviews, mostly because of the many changes from the novel and the rushed plot and the anticlimactic ending. Which I can understand, I guess. I mean, it is a short movie. It says only 88 minutes. Maybe it should have been longer.
It's like one of those movies that, looks good, but when they're short like that, they seem like they just rush everything.
Right.
Like,
maybe they should have made it a bit longer, even if it was like 15 minutes longer or something.
Because, I mean, look right at the beginning when he was just a teenager. You go from that to him almost drowning, no explanation that he can jump like that.
Right.
And then next thing you know, he's like, I'm going to go to a bank and just steal all this money and just spend the next 8 years living my life and just forget about the girl that I totally had a crush on. And then go back 8 years later thinking that he can hook back up with her. Like, wouldn't people be asking questions like, where the fuck have you been? Like, what the hell happened? Because it never made it. I mean, she knew he did after when he almost drowned in that lake. He did go back one point to leave that crystal ball or whatever the fuck it was on her, swing, and she came out and saw it and was like, David, and
Right.
and she never sees him again until the point at the bar where they're like, like, hey, David, like, there's no like, where the fuck have you been? We thought you were dead. Like, you think should be like freaking out after all these years,
Right.
But it's all like, where, it's just like, where have you been? What have you been doing? Like, yeah, forget the fact that you just up and vanished fucking 8 years ago, and nobody's seen hide nor hair of you. But
Right.
now you're back. Oh, how you doing?
It's weird. It says here, as far as casting goes, there's somebody named Tom Sturridge who was going to be the main star of the movie.
Yeah.
But it says here, Hayden Christensen replaced Tom in the lead role just 2 weeks before the beginning of shooting. It says because the studio became concerned about not having a more, known actor play in the movie.
Role.
Right. That's interesting. So I didn't know that.
Yeah, that is kind of messed up when, like, it's like you change your actor at the last moment. It's
Right.
like, look at Back to the Future, what they did. Eric Stoltz was going to be the original.
Well, he actually filmed scenes for the movie.
Yeah, but then they said that they didn't like the way
It didn't fit.
turned out, and then they brought in
Michael J. Fox.
Michael J. Fox, who
Right.
like, okay, I mean, that was cool, but
Yeah, I mean, but I can understand that. You have to do what's best for the film.
yeah.
So I can understand, because I really can't see Eric Stoltz, in these Back to the
when you
Future
go back
films.
and you watch that, like,
I mean,
see that being Eric Stoltz.
yeah, I just can't imagine that. Even though he filmed some scenes, you could see, some of the deleted scenes with him in it. But
They left a scene in the movie that was actually him, where it was during the fight scene with Biff.
oh, I didn't know that.
There was like a quick scene where, like, the punch was like, that was actually Eric Stoltz punching him or something. I
Interesting.
remember they said it somewhere. Somebody's like, hey, there's a part in the movie with Eric Stoltz in it, and it's like, you gotta watch it real quick, and you can tell that ain't Michael J. Fox in that scene. That's fucking Eric Stoltz.
Oh, cool. But anyways, Jumper. They started filming Jumper in 2006.
Yeah.
And it didn't get released until 2008. So,
Well, you got to
2
figure it
years
probably
later.
took a long time to film. I mean, look at all the places they had to cover.
they did cover a lot of places. I did read
Yeah,
that somewhere.
I mean-
It says they filmed in 20 cities and 14 countries from 2007 to 2008.
Damn, dude.
So, yeah, they were probably doing a lot of different shots, over time, and then finally, finishing the
Yeah.
film. It probably wasn't filmed, all at once, if they did it like that. So that's interesting, but it did make a lot of money. I thought it was a cool movie for its time.
Yeah,
when it
it was
came
like
out.
during that era of, like, the real, like, badass movies like that came out.
Yeah, and Samuel L. Jackson, he's in so many movies, man.
Yeah, he's had so many roles, but honestly, I'd say I got the utmost respect for Samuel L. Jackson
Yeah.
because he does do some great movies. He's a great character.
Right. I mean, he really gets into it, man.
His character in this, there's two movies I did not really care for him in those movies was Jumper and Django Unchained. Like, I just like, God, this guy's an asshole.
Well, that's the part he's supposed to play.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's interesting how people they get casted for films and then they get switched out, either during or beforehand.
Yeah, I like Samuel Jackson's haircut in that movie.
Yeah, he had the white
He had,
hair.
like, white, yeah, like looked like he just had like a total white like hair. Like that's pretty badass. It's different.
Right, but yeah, this film was released by 20th Century Fox.
20th century, baby.
Yeah, good stuff, man. But I guess we'll wrap up this review, guys. It's a cool movie. I recommend it, even though it got, you know, bad reviews. I think it was a
Yeah.
cool movie, like I said, for that time period.
Yeah, I mean,
You know.
if it's a movie you've never seen and you got,
Right.
you know, you're bored, got nothing to do, and if you know if you get a chance to catch it on, I mean, it's a perfect movie to watch
Yeah.
when you got nothing else to do.
If you're into American science fiction action, then this is a cool ride, I would say.
yeah,
There should have been, I think there should have been more action. It looks like when you're watching the film, it looks like some of it was cut out. But I have to
Really?
look through the deleted scenes and maybe I'll
Yeah,
find
yeah,
it there. But
that
yeah, this
movie,
film should have been longer.
yeah,
88
I feel
minutes.
Like that movie should have been like a 2-hour movie.
Right.
not
The plot
like
should have been
hour
fleshed
and
out
20
longer.
minutes. Yeah.
You know, but all in all, cool movie for what it was. I liked it. Nothing great, but it was cool.
I'll
You
give it
know,
a 7.
yeah, same here. I would give it like a 7, 7.5. You know, it's just something that, you know, to kick back and shut your mind off and, you know, enjoy.
Yeah, just
You know,
watch some real weird, crazy shit, but make sure you know it's one of the movies you got to pay attention to because you can lose track of this movie.
right? You could lose track of the plot. You know, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, whatever. It's all good.
Or good in the hood, mate.
So, anyways, yes, we will go ahead and wrap this review up, guys. We hope you enjoyed this video. That is it for now. We're out of here and have a kick-ass day. Peace.
See ya.